Hey there, and welcome to my Overwatch beta thoughts and impressions. And actually, I guess this is the Sunday after BlizzCon, so a bunch of Overwatch news happened, or kind of didn't happen, depend on your perspective. So in this video, I'm going to talk about that too. So first off, just like basic impressions of the Overwatch beta. There's been a lot of stuff like going into it. They're like, this is going to be a free-to-play MOBA that, hero, da-da-da-da, like whatever. And that's, kind of what I thought it was going to be too, MOBA TF2 type thing. Turns out, no, not really. It's there. I mean, granted, this is just like a beta, like a tech beta, so we just like get gameplay. There's no idea of like account progression or character progression or anything like that, and there's only one type of mode. So far, I mean, other than like ultimates and character selections with like roles, there really isn't too much MOBA-y about it. It's really more TF2. So I mean, I guess if you call TF2 it's a MOBA, then yeah, I guess, sort of. There are characters to counter each other. Like, for instance, I picked Pharah on this one because there are lots of lines of sights, lots of, like, areas to sort of snipe at each other, and, like, good areas, and my team needed some damage, so I picked that. But, yeah, like, going forward, sort of mechanically and technically, I mean, this was a game that I played very briefly at E3, I think. Yeah, possibly E3 last year. Was it E3? It might have been BlizzCon. I forget. Either way, I remember getting my hands on this and immediately being like, "Oh my God! Wow, this is really kind of special." Much like Mass was special there. Basically the character design, all the stuff, the polish, the way it feels is just all super impressive, and especially impressive from a company that hasn't done this kind of game before, really. And then there's just a lot that's right and feels very right with it mechanically. It's definitely something that you can pick up and sort of like find your niche relatively quick in, but then also there's a lot to sort of learn and gain sort of deep knowledge out of it, which I really like. That being said, with these types of game modes, this one type of game mode, in terms of balance and kind of like the gameplay, this game's really a lot about choke points and exploiting those choke points as, when you're defending. So basically knowing where to set up your turrets and basically your build characters to really make it hard for the other team to push out from there. And then when you're like me right now, even though actually in this map I'm basically being kind of like a mobile turret, in this map, or like as a damage character, knowing how to like get around behind your enemy and sort of harass to keep them off your turrets, and sort of to keep them busy. And so sometimes that can be really, really, really frustrating if you're just at one part of a game just like completely locked out of a thing the whole time. But then again, at the same time, it can be really gratifying if your team is really locked into like one spot and can't get by a thing, and then ultimately do pass, bust a choke through a choke point. That can be really satisfying. So it's a careful balance, and I mean, obviously, if you're playing a pickup game, it's going to be really hard to coordinate the right rolls at the right times, doing the pushes at the right times. That can be tough. It's definitely a much more enjoyable experience playing with your buddies than it is just sort of by yourself. But that being said, I mean, again, this is just a beta. We don't know what kind of modes they're going to be adding to it. They don't know what kind of necessarily if this is all the sort of aspects of the character that you're going to get, like a couple of abilities and an ultimate. And then also saying it doesn't, that, who knows what they're going to add in terms of like different characters who are going to have like different, more more sort of complicated functionality and more like sort of in-depth characters. Like for instance, actually, there's the sort of the Jet Set Radio Rasta DJ guy has a pretty expansive set of moves and equipment and things that he can do. So it's, you know, there has been, oh, please get this. Do I die on this one? I forget. Oh, no, yeah, I killed. But yeah, going, and you're like, oh, 60 seconds remaining, maybe we stop them. No, these guys keep on going. Spoiler. But that brings us to an interesting point. So one of the other things that people assumed about this game was that it was going to be free to play. I certainly thought it was. With all the heroes added to it, I was like, oh, clearly this is going to be a free to play PC only game. Nope. It was announced, you know, the rumors heading into BlizzCon leaked out that no, actually it was going to be a console game, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And then, of course, because it's a console game and free-to-play for myriad reasons, which I won't get into in this episode, free-to-play doesn't really seem to work on consoles. It was revealed that it was a full retail, though, you know, being tiered. Like, there's a $40 version and a $60 version, and, of course, a statue version with $120. And that certainly caught everybody by surprise and raised some interesting questions about future heroes and how that's going to be segmented and how that's going. So, I mean, first off, like, you know, there's saying what I did say about the mechanics of the game and how it is really solid. I don't think if it was a thing where they were going to sell new characters, you know, and new maps and things like that, this game is like amazing enough just on its own for that in order to like justify that. It's, you know, it's gonna be hard. I mean, Blizz has shown that they know how to do free to play, but you know, Heroes and Heroes of the Storm, or Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, are free to start out with, whereas this is a $40 at minimum investment to begin with, and then charging on top of that is not a thing that consumers are used to. So of course, going into BlizzCon, everybody started asking them, what the fuck, what's up with this, this and that. And then, you know, in the presentation, the mass you know, Overwatch presentation where they revealed this, they didn't really say anything. And then in over various interviews, I believe I have some stuff up in front of me, there was a quote where basically Overwatch's creative director said, clearly it's not going to be the Heroes of the Storm business model. And that they also said, like, in terms of heroes, that they're not going to sell heroes, which is okay, great, hopefully. And then they said they're not going to sell maps, which, okay, so best case scenario now at this point is you pay $40 and you get the base heroes for the life of the game, base heroes and maps for the life of the game, and then they sell cosmetics. That's best option. Now, I don't want to say second best option, but second option is you buy it and then you get the starting heroes and you'll get every map that comes up, but then heroes that are released you either have to pay for or grind for, and Blizz is kind of merciless when it comes to grinding. They'll be like, well, you don't have to pay for them, but like you can grind in-game currency for them, and this and that. That's like a thing I could easily see happening. Another version of that is that you get every hero, but then like skins and different things happen. So I don't know. It'll be basically, this game has a lot going for it, but if they go too deep with the buying of a hero, it may kind of spell mean a shorter life for this, which is too bad because the game on its base is really great and something that I could see me spending a lot of time playing. So here's to me hoping us and me hoping that Blizz does oh, that was an easy kill, the right and nice thing and let you get the heroes and the maps for the life of the game if you purchase the game, and just cosmetics going forward is pay. So thanks for watching. Definitely gonna have a lot more Overwatch content coming up real soon. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you real soon.